Hello everyone. I posted on Facebook this image right here the other day, and let me kind of go down here for you. There it is. And I called it Pastel Painting. And I had several of you that wanted to know what I was doing and how I accomplished this. So I said I would make a video, so here I am making a video. Now what I did this on, this is one of my sheets that you see me paint papers a lot with the sheet that covers my board while I'm doing other things, and these are the marks left behind. So that's what I have here. To do this, I would suggest that what you might want to do is take a piece of paper or something and maybe make some black marks with, that's acrylic paint, and let that dry to kind of give you something to, a basis of some kind. But so I'm just going to use this to show you what I'm doing. I call this pastel painting. I have no earthly idea what to really call it. I'm going to zoom in on this right here. I may have to hold that so you can see it, so I can get it there. Okay. Now, this is really very simple. This is not rocket science. I know that if any of you have been doing art for very long, you probably have a collection much like mine of pastels that sometime in your life you thought you wanted to do pastels. And I love pastels. I love what they do, but I just don't like the messiness of them, the chalk and dust getting everywhere. So I came up with this plan, and this may be something people have been doing for years. I don't know. I used to do this years ago, and it has been a long time since I have done it. But what I do is I take, let me see, what color do I want? I think I'll take this blue. Well, no, I'm going to get an orange. Okay. I pour up in a cup a little bit of acrylic medium. Now I have acrylic varnish here, and that's what I'm going to use, but you can use whichever acrylic medium that you prefer. I just put a little in a jar, and I work with kind of a small brush doing this just to keep it contained. And essentially what I do is I take the pastel and I color in an area, and then I wet the brush and I wet it with some of my acrylic medium, and I paint. And what you're doing here is taking that pastel dust and creating a paint. You're creating something that when it dries, there's no dust. It's like paint. And it also kind of amazes me the way it sometimes it's kind of transparent, and you can take like that and get a little on, and then maybe go over here and paint with it, and see it's kind of transparent. So you can do lots of different things, and you don't have to fill in the whole area. Just get your little dust down there. The main thing is your acrylic medium, and go to town. So that's what I'm doing. So I'm going to do this little square for you, and I'm going to speed it up a little bit so that we're not taking all day, but that's what I'm doing. Okay, let's go. So there you have it, and just where you can look at it here, that's all pastel, and it's starting to dry some. I have found that you know, when you run your fingers over it, you might get a little bit of dust, but it's not like with regular. And what I sometimes do is just take a paper towel and then just kind of burnish it like that. That gets rid of some dust that might be on top, and it doesn't mess up your image any. So there's that. On paper. Now, I want to show you about doing it with fabric. I've also done it with fabric. Now, this is a piece of muslin here that I painted with pastels, just like I did the paper. You can see that it's all dry. And, you know, once it dries, there's nothing that says that you can't go back and do some more. You can go back on this and do the same process on top of the dried pastel. Make some more marks if you want to. It's, you know, it's fun. It's a different thing. It's a lucrative. It dries pretty quick too. If you don't get your medium too thick, but you want it thick enough that it's going to do something. Anyway, I can't talk and paint at the same time. I don't know why I'm even trying to. Anyhow, so there is pastel on muslin fabric, and it was dried, and I went back and did some more marks. So I'm going to show you that. The other thing is, this is a little square that I have that is another little piece of muslin, and that's pastel, same deal. And this, once the fabric has been painted, or this one was dyed ahead of time, and I have several little dyed pieces that I've done in the past, and so I used it. It's easier to work on something that's either been pre-painted or dyed. Like this one, this was easier to do than the rest of it because I did the rest of it on raw muslin, and this was on top of something that had already dried, and it was just easier to apply it. So I'm going to just show you this real quick. It's real simple. It's the same things we did before. I'm going to take this blue. I'm going to make a square this time. Right here on the fabric. And again, doesn't have to be just solid because you're going to blend it. Take your acrylic medium and blend it all together. Paint it. You're making it into a paint. You're just taking that pigment and making it into a paint. Then I'm going to go on the outside, and if you're doing this and you're going to go right up next to something, it's a good idea to kind of come back a ways from it instead of right up next to it, because you know there can be some bleed over, and I've just found it easier to do it like this. And then, because once that medium hits the pastel, it gets on your brush, and then you can blend it right on up to your image. Makes it easier. There's a little bit of bleed over, but not near like if you were to make the mark right up next to it. So there we go. Got a little blue block, a little red border. And again, when this dries, I can take this one, and maybe I would like to put, maybe I'd like to put a little black dot. Well, this is actually a dark blue purple, but it looks very black. So I'm going to put that right in the middle there. Then I'm going to take my brush, and I'm going to take a smaller brush so that it doesn't get out into the turquoisey area. black dot in there now. It'll all dry and it'll be very usable. So there you go. Couple of demonstrations. And now it's your turn. Have fun.